This is a second stimulus update. In this video, I'll go over the latest news regarding a second stimulus check, which states are offering a $1,600 retroactive unemployment pay, which rental assistance programs are paying up to $3,000, and hazard pay programs paying up to $2,000. I hope you're having a great day so far. First, let's talk about what you care about the most, the second stimulus check. And as usual, I want to keep it real with you. We are not anywhere close to getting second stimulus checks. I want to save you some time, and I don't want to give you false hope. First, let's talk about this headline that just came out today. USPS funding vote is today, Saturday, and this could bring a second round of stimulus checks. This is a very misleading headline, but let's get into it because it does have some news. If you weren't aware of what's going on, the House of Representatives and Congress were called off of vacation to head back to DC to vote on the USPS bill that is going on today, Saturday. So the Democrats want to give $25 billion to the US Postal Service. The Republicans don't want it, but since the House of Representatives is ran by the Democrats, most likely this bill will pass. Now, since the House of Representatives is called back from their 1-month vacation to vote on this bill, a lot of people are seeing a great opportunity here to pass second stimulus checks, unemployment, among many other things that could help out the American people since they are off of vacation, and this is the time when they could get something done. There were two sets of letters to Nancy Pelosi from Democrats saying, please, let's pass something else. Let's pass unemployment, stimulus checks, other things. Let's get something else done just besides the US Postal Service, because it's kind of insulting that everyone gets called back from vacation to vote on something and it's just regarding re-election, which is the main reason why they're having this US Postal Service drama. It's all about re-election. And unfortunately, while they have everyone in Congress, they're not voting on something that could directly help the American people, such as stimulus checks and unemployment benefits. Unfortunately, along with this USPS bill, Nancy Pelosi will not include stimulus checks or unemployment benefits. Here's what she said: I don't think strategically it's where we should go right now, because Republicans would like to pass something like that and say forget about it. Forget about state and local government funding, forget about investments in stopping the virus, forget about other initiatives that feed the food insecure children in our country, vote by mail initiatives, and the rest. So what Nancy Pelosi is saying is that if they piecemeal, if they do pass a few important things now, then the Republicans will not vote on anything else later on. And Nancy Pelosi has been insistent about state and local funding ever since the beginning. Republicans, on the other hand, are willing to pass US Postal Service funding now, second stimulus check now, unemployment benefits now, and then focus on other negotiations later on. Here's what Mark Meadows said: let's go ahead and get a stimulus check out to Americans. Let's make sure that small businesses are protected and put the postal funding in there. We'll pass it tomorrow. The president will sign it. But unfortunately, this is not as easy for the Republican Party, because at this time, the Republican Party is severely fractured, meaning that many Republicans are in support of stimulus checks and unemployment benefits, while others have openly spoken against stimulus checks or any money in general towards a stimulus package. And Jason Furman, who is an economic advisor for the Obama administration, said that I think it's baffling that the Senate Republicans didn't come up with a plan until the very last week. I think it's baffling that the president and Senate Republicans aren't on the same side. So with the President Trump saying one thing, Senate Republicans saying another thing, there's no unification for the Republican Party compared to the Democrat Party. But to be fair, it's both the Republicans and Democrats' fault. Just to be clear, I'm an independent. I believe in principles with both Republicans and Democrats, but these Republicans and Democrats are a totally different breed compared to the civilian Republicans and Democrats. These politicians, once they get in office, they get addicted to power, and they'll do whatever political favor they have to do or say whatever lie they have to say to voters just to remain in power and get reelected. With that said, I'm curious what you think down in the comments below, whether you're a Republican or Democrat. Let me know which party you are, and let me know if you still believe in your party, the politicians, and how they've been acting over the past few months regarding stimulus. Let me know down in the comments below. Because now Republicans are in the process of coming up with a new stimulus bill that will have the $300 weekly unemployment, but no stimulus checks, no student loan relief, among many other important aspects that they had part of their first stimulus package known in called the HEALS Act. So as far as coming to an agreement on the big stimulus package, that's not going to happen anytime soon. The Democrats had their Democratic National Convention last week. Republicans are having their Republican National Convention this upcoming week, and they are not focused on stimulus negotiations at this time. And because there was no progress with these stimulus negotiations, President Trump passed 4 executive orders, one of them being for student loan relief. And just yesterday, Education Secretary Betsy DeVos, she said that they are going to extend the student loan relief over the next several weeks. So currently, the expiration is September 30th for federal student loans where payments are suspended, no interest is added or accumulated. So she said over the next several weeks, they're going to make that official, because at this time it is not official, but then they will make it official so that until the end of 2020, no student loan payments are necessary or have to be paid. Moving on to unemployment benefits, here is the status of the $300 to $400 per week unemployment benefits. So if you want, you can pause the screen right now. Here are the states that have taken no action. Here are the states that applied, that got approved, the states that denied. But here are the 13 states that just got approved. So it is Arizona, Colorado, Idaho, Iowa, Kentucky, Louisiana, Maryland, Michigan, Missouri, Montana, New Mexico, Oklahoma, and Utah. So at this time, Arizona just started paying their $300 per week benefits this past week. And the other states, they're saying it could be at the end of the month or beginning of September. And here are the 7 states that have applied but not yet approved. It's Alabama, Alaska, Arkansas, California, Indiana, Texas, and West Virginia. Most of these states are going to get a $300 per week unemployment benefit, but there are 2 states that are going to get a $400 per week unemployment benefit. The reason why it's $400 is because the states have an option to give an extra $100 out of their own budget to the people for unemployment benefits, but they don't have to do it, that's optional. So Kentucky and Montana are giving the $400 instead of the $300. And since these payments are retroactive August 1st, that means probably beginning of September when they get that first paycheck, it could be up to $1,600 with that first paycheck because it's $400 per week for 4 weeks, and then any additional payments that they're going to get week after week after week. Which means for the other 11 states, it's going to be a $1,200 check coming up first because of the retroactive pay starting August 1st. Here are the 3 states that completely denied these unemployment benefits altogether. It's South Dakota, New York, and Oregon. So the governor of South Dakota said, "My administration is very grateful for the additional flexibility that this effort would have provided, but South Dakota is in the fortunate position of not needing to accept it. South Dakota is the only state in the nation that didn't have extended benefits kick in because our insured unemployment rate has been the lowest in the nation." So they're denying it because they don't need it. New York, Governor Cuomo is saying you cannot get water out of a stone. That is a fact. We have a $14 billion deficit and we can't pay for it, but it's still optional. They could still get that $300. But then he says, I'd rather do business with the old-time bookie on the street corner than do business with FEMA. So to me, this doesn't really make sense. I'm sure there's a lot of New Yorkers who could benefit from this $300 a week unemployment benefit. So let me know what you think about this down in the comments below. I think this is more politically motivated of why Governor Cuomo is not accepting the $300 for his New York residents. Then Oregon. They say that there are still a huge number of uncertainties about the program that was discussed in the executive order. Moving on to COVID news, according to CDC, it looks like cases are still below 50,000. We had below 40,000 a couple days ago. Then the past 2 days was 45,000. 44,000, 46,000. So the cases are still low. And in terms of the COVID vaccine, it looks like Mexico is willing to do phase 3 trials of the Russian vaccine. They said that they'll experiment on their own people in Mexico to see if this Russian vaccine is safe. And there's also many other countries that are willing to take this vaccine. So Russia just announced that we're going to do clinical trials not just in Russia, but also the United Arab Emirates, Saudi Arabia, Philippines, probably in Brazil or in India. So they're going to do 40,000. They said that 40,000 people are willing to participate in these studies. But keep in mind, there was no phase 3 trials done on this Russian vaccine. Although they say it's worked on several humans, they haven't done the testing on several thousands of people to see how safe it is, what the side effects are. Moving on, there are several different rental assistance program, hazard pay programs that are going on locally across the country because the stimulus package isn't going to pass anytime soon. Many different states, counties, cities, and towns are passing their own programs to help out the American people. So for example, City of Atlanta is launching a rental assistance program, and they could pay as high as $3,000 per household. If you were curious about the current rental assistance programs, I put together this spreadsheet here that goes over all of the rental assistance programs that I found, as well as hazard pay programs. It's completely free. You can find it down in the link in the description below. Also, King County, Washington, which is where Seattle is, they announced that they're going to have $41 million for funding, and that's going to go to up to 10,000 households in the county. Also, just announced a few days ago, Sacramento, California just okayed a $5 million rental assistance program that could help up to 1,000 different households, and there's actually money going to a few different other programs. If you live in the Sacramento area, check out that spreadsheet, there's more information. In terms of hazard pay, Virginia Beach is giving first responders hazard pay. So they are paying anywhere from $1,000 to $2,000 in hazard pay, and then eligible health and human service staff could get $1,500. So there's a lot of different departments that are getting hazard pay there. Also, Clayton County, which is where Atlanta is, they're also giving hazard pay. So for full-time EMTs, police officers, firefighters, and other frontline workers, they could get a one-time payment of $2,000 in hazard pay. And then essential workers like public safety, they could get up to $1,500, and part-time employees could get $500 in hazard pay. If you want me to look up your area, put that down in the comments below, and I'll see if there's any rental assistance programs or hazard pay programs, and I could feature that in a future video. If you're looking for other free money opportunities, you could sign up through Webull down in the description below and get 2 free stocks. If you want a 3rd free stock, you could sign up through Robinhood down in the description below. And if you want to learn how millionaires and rich people are able to get rich and stay rich, kind of the principles that they get, and the reason why lottery winners go broke just within a few years, I go over it in this video over here. It's the habits that rich people have. If you want to learn what those habits are, I recommend clicking that video. It's on my second channel, Wise Sense. Or if you want more second stimulus check updates, you could click this playlist down over here, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care, be safe. Thank you for watching.